Greetings to all, and we appreciate your attendance for today. Let's kickstart our session with this great quotation. True progress is only possible when women have the equal opportunity. A very good evening to all the guests and the dignitaries. As the host of this worldwide webinar on the women empowerment, I, Chavi Jain, and delegated to extend the heartfelt and the enthusiastic welcome to each and every one of you. It gives me a great pleasure to extend a warm hello to each and every one of you gathered here today. It's a huge honor for us to have someone of this caliber here, whose involvement on the topic of women empowerment adds so much value to it. Before we dive into today's event, I would like to take a moment to share a few thoughts on our topic women empowerment. Women empowerment gives women equal opportunities, rights, and respect. It helps them achieve independence, confidence, and to share the future. Empowerment women strengthen families, communities, and the society. Let's support and celebrate their strength and the potential. Before I proceed further, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization, SEMS Welfare Foundation. A registered non-profit organization is dedicated to the social impact across the various sectors. We focus on educational, partially skill development, particularly on the skill development and the entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, Digi Saksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and the entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upskilling the inmates in Haryana jail and collaborating with the universities and the colleges. We have also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in the job. Families, another seventh initiative, empowers women through workshops and the stories of the successful women entrepreneurs. We conduct programs on the digital literacy, marketing, and the career development, reaching over 1,000 women across the multiple states. This initiative recently reached a milestone of 1,000 women actively involved. In just a short time, Siemens has established itself a force of positive change, equipping the individuals with skills for the employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. Okay, now let me take this wonderful occasion to publicly present and welcome Dr. Chandrasekhar Rao sir. Chandrasekhar Singh, the keynote speaker for the today's international webinar. It's my privilege to introduce the esteemed speaker for the today's event. Dr. Chandrasekhar Singh is an assistant professor in the Department of the Sociology at the lovely Professional University, Punjab. He has completed his doctorate from the Dayal Bhag Educational Institute, Agra. He is having 23 research papers and 12 chapters in various edited books. He has edited 2 books and authored 1 book along with the other academics. Diverse interest in various areas including unorganized workers, media, religion change, ethnographic studies, and the women empowerment. At present, 4 research scholars are pursuing their doctorate under his guidance. He is a life member of the Indian Sociological Society (ISS) and International Sociological Association (ISA). There are many gems and diamonds in the world, and one of them is here today to help us in building this event. With this note, I, Chavi, on behalf of the Siemens Welfare Foundation, would like to give my prestigious welcome to Dr. Chandrasekhar sir with a huge round of applause for joining us today. Your presence has added to the significance of this event. We are genuinely honored to have you, sir.
I'm just starting. Before that, I just want to greet each and everyone, whether it is dignitaries, whether it is so-called participants, and I just want to share one thing that my name is Dr. Chandrasekhar Singh, and I think that there was there was some little bit confusion. I think so.
Yeah, it
So
was Chandrasekhar.
okay. So thank you
Sorry for
so much.
that.
No, not don't feel sorry because it happens many time. Okay, no issue. So should I start, ma'am? Should I start, ma'am?
Sure, sir, you can
Yes,
start.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Chandrasekhar Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Sociology, lovely Professional University. I welcome you all and just say a very warm good evening to each one of you. So, my topic is women empowerment in India. First of all, let us understand that what we exactly know and understand by women empowerment. Actually, we used to wonder that in such a beautiful nation where we are having n number of shlok and all that in since ancient time we used to praise our women, we used to consider our women as goddesses, and we used to just name even rivers on the women's name, you can see. And we are talking on such topic, okay. And one more thing is that in the world, when very small nations, you can just talk about Japan, South Korea. They are testing for 6G, 7G, and we are talking on such a general topic, women empowerment. Many of us just think about it, that why we are talking about women empowerment in such a beautiful and such a nation where we have always praised our women. But definitely there are some points that we have to consider, that even after so many years of independence, 50% of our population are still thinking. I'm not considering the 50% of population. I just take us, you can say 50% of population, they are still thinking that one day will come when they will just when they were waiting for the beautiful fate, you can see, that they can breathe freely, they can take their decisions independently. Actually taking decisions independently and breathing freely, they are just, you can say, these are very flowery words. But definitely, we have to think in our country that even after so many years of independence, formulation, and further implementation of a number of policies, also, we are still lagging far behind if we just compare ourselves with many nations. I'm not telling that you please compare yourself with Afghanistan and North Korea. Please compare yourself with some good nations, European nations, American nations, then you will feel that there is a requirement of women empowerment. And definitely we will talk, and we will just, after this, after the conclusion, I think that we will try to understand this topic from, not from sociological point of view, from every aspect, that whether it is required or not. N number of books, n number of research papers. Even my research, I have done five or six, I have written 5 to 6 research papers on women empowerment. But still I think that still I have to learn a lot if we really want to do anything in the direction of women empowerment. So let us start that it is a comprehensive overview of the progress made in the women's rights, economic participation, and political representation in India. Now we will talk about the women's rights. So let us understand one thing, that if we really believe in God, then God has created both the genders. If I'm just dividing our society in two genders, that is male and female. So why we are talking that someone is giving someone any right? Why male consider that they are someone that they can give someone rights? Why a woman as an individual, she is not able to take her own rights? She is not able to take her own decisions. She is not able to represent any arena. If you just talk, even after so many years of independence, you just imagine, you just wonder that even in our you can say politics in the Lok Sabha, how many female members are there, how many members are there to represent a vast population. So definitely there is some requirement, and we will try to understand in due course of time. I think that it will be very interesting session. Now we will talk about some historical context, that traditional roles of women's rights in women's rights movement, and afterwards social and cultural norms. We all know that India is a nation of villages. We all know that our you can say the India's heart lies in villages. This is the quotation given by our honorable father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And he told that if you really want development, if you really want holistic development, so we have to consider every person, not a single person. So historically, women in India were primarily confined to domestic roles with limited access to education and economic opportunities. Still, you will find n number of women, n number of so-called female fraternity who are still thinking that when the day will come and they will take their own decisions, when they will come out of the four walls of the houses and they will think independently. For that, we are having n number of women rights movement. Once we are talking about rights movement, so we will just say that government has given you n number of things. Government is giving you honorable government machinery is giving you n number of reservation policies also. So why there is a need of still feminist thought, feminism, and number of waves of feminism we are talking about. So the first thing is social reform and equality. Social reform, so it is basically involved, it is basically deep rooted in our society. It's societal aspects, societal thoughts, you can say that why we are considering that. Just take an example that if women, if the in a household, two persons, the male and the female, both are going for any job, and afterwards when they are coming, so it is just a normal gender expectation that only female will go and just make a cup of tea. I know these are very simple and general thoughts, but there is a deep thought inside that, that why she is only having this much expectation. Now the social and cultural norms, we will talk about social and cultural norms. First of all, if there are some words which look little bit offensive, please don't take it otherwise. It is just a normal the session in which we are interacting on a very crucial topic. So we are having some of the societal norms also, cultural practices also, and what is happening that is often limited to women's agencies and freedom. We are talking about freedom, agencies, equality, reforms. Please try to understand these words. Don't go for its literal meaning. Please try to understand this meaning in little bit deeper way. So post-independence era and the women's movement. I will take care of time also because after me many persons are there who will go for their presentation. So I will take care of that. Don't worry. So India gained independence in 1947, ushering a new era of progress and social reform. The biggest problem when in on 15th August 1947, when India got its freedom from the shackles of, you can say, slavery, from the colonial rule after 200 years, I think so. So what was the basic problem? That we are having many type of social issues, and in that social issues there was one basic issue, that how what we can do, how we can do that these 50% of population think themselves as they are in the mainstream. Even after, even you can say nowadays also in many of the states, if there is a particular post reserved for the women, you can say the basic, the smallest post of gram sarpanch, you can say. So for that you will just wonder that if you'll go for some traditional, or you can say orthodox village, you will find that she doesn't know that what is happening, and her husband is enjoying all the rights, all the, you can say, all the privileges just on her, just she has got a stamp, and her stamp is getting marked on the paper, and she's doing it, she's just giving her signature if she's literate. Otherwise what she is doing, she's just giving a thumb impression, and believe me that she's not knowing that what is going on at the village level, how much fund is coming, what are the basic reforms that her village is required, and what are the reformative measures that is going on. So, empowering women through education and economic opportunities, I think the basic requirement of anyone's improvement, anyone's development, and so called anyone's empowerment is education. I'm not talking about the simple education in which people can just go for their signature and become literate on paper. I'm talking about that quality education in which everyone can decide, everyone can take decisions, everyone can go for their critical thinking. That what exactly is happening. If suppose that if I'm giving lecture on this women's empowerment, so definitely if someone should listen it, so she should understand, and she should critically understand, she should go for some critical thinking, that what is the is it really required that in the 2024 December 6 we are talking on the such general issue. So definitely there will be some you can say logical discussion, logical debate on that. And many persons who just claim that they are sociologists, they just think that okay fine, everything is going fine, and after a few years the things will be much better than this. But just go in some villages, please try to talk to some village women and just ask very basic things, very basic things, and you will wonder that they don't know the basic things of their own villages. If you will just ask that what are some of the development measures that is going on in the villages in last 6 months or 7 months, they will not be able to reply because they are not knowing the things. Their whole world is confined in the four walls only, where they are just taking care of their family members. They are mean for reproduction, and they are doing such a very you can say household work. I know that these works are very important for someone's life, but if you really want that women should be empowered, women should be practically empowered, women should know what is going on at the social level, political level, economic level, then only we can say that we are going to become a superpower. We are just boosting ourselves that after a few years we will become a superpower, because we are boosting that we have become independent, we have become economically superpower and militarily superpower. But definitely at the social arena, at the social aspect, we have to think it. The women's movement gained momentum with numerous organizations dedicated to in advancing women's rights and promoting gender equality. The focus shifted towards empowering women through education, employment, and legal reforms, laying the foundation for the progress that followed. We are talking about employment. Then we talk about one, there is one good word, that is pink collar job. I'm again repeating the word, that is pink collar job. It means that few jobs are restricted for women. We think that women should go for becoming teachers only. That is a very wonderful voice. Please mute it if possible. Very wonderful. If possible. Thank you so much. So, so we will talk about employment further. Just give me confirmation. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're
You're
audible.
audible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Otherwise, I was thinking that I am just speaking, and but when I got some this good voice from a child, I was very happy that at least he is listening me. Good. So the next one is the next topic: the current status of women's empowerment. While progress has been made, significant challenges persist in achieving true gender equality. True gender equality. I'm talking true gender equality. It means that we have to go for some of the statistical facts. You can say that 27% of labor force women's participation in the Indian workforce has increased but remains significantly lower than women. Now we will talk about the labor force, you can say, participation of women. That I was talking about the pink collared work, that is women in the teaching, women in some dock, women in some you can say air hostess, and women in some receptionist. These works are there, but believe me that many women are flying fighter aircrafts. Many women have become astronauts. I think that more or less everyone is well aware of that. But what is their percentage? That is the biggest question in front of us. That even after 80 years of independence, how many fighter pilots we are having? How many just a minute, waiting in the lobby. Okay. How many fighter pilots we are having? How many scientists we are having? How many Supreme Court judges we are having? So actually, what is happening? That I was just asking. I was just going for some of the facts, and I was really wondering that we don't have any person. If I'm talking about Supreme Court Chief Justice, there is no female. There's no one has ever become Supreme Court Chief Justice. If I'm just talking that how many female prime ministers we are having, I think that there is only one. How many female presidents we were having? I think we are only having only one. How many Lok Sabha speakers we are having? I think that we are having only one. So the country in which we are boosting ourselves that we are the number one in the population, we have crossed China a few months ago, but still in some powerful positions, how many persons we are having, that we have to understand, that we have to think, and that we have to just critically think that what are the basic things that is really required. Now 65% literacy we are talking about. I think that right now it is 70%, but if you really go and just talk to few females that who are boosting them that they're in the literate category, so they can only give their signature. If you'll just critically analyze that what is the relevance, you just ask any question, what is the relevance of education in your life, I think she will not be able to reply. The answer is just in front of us, that she doesn't know that what is happening around us. She's not aware, she's not going for. And we are talking about that everyone is having mobile phones in our hand, we are very much internet friendly. Just go and talk to that woman, if she'll be having any account in WhatsApp or Facebook or anything else. She will say that she asked her husband or she asked her children, and then they just give, and then she started seeing. The words are very simple, the sentence is very simple, but we have to understand that we are talking about empowerment. And many persons, many female, they are still waiting that when I will be able to do this. Now, economic participation and opportunities. The biggest problem, economic opportunities, that if you just economic opportunities I'm talking about. I'm not talking that female work, they are going for some unorganized workers, or they are employed in agriculture. Just imagine, just go for any industrial, just go for any entrepreneurship, you can say, and imagine that how many persons, how many females are sitting on some good chair. I'm talking about good chair, it means that top managerial positions. How many persons, how many females are there? If just go to university, I'm talking about university, how many female professors are there? How many female lawyers are there? How many female judges are there? How many female pilots are there? How many female officers are there in the army, navy, and air force? And if they are there, so how much we are giving equal opportunity? Why they are struggling for their promotions? Why they are going for voluntary retirement? I know that there are n number of challenges are there, because at a certain moment of time you will get married and you will be having some children. So we are having the thought that if a lady is going to get married and she'll be having children, she'll be aged, she will not be able to perform as her counterpart or as her male counterpart can do the work. I know that these are only myths. Once any person, any lady can run her household in a much better way, so definitely she can run anything. And I think that you will all be agree with my perception, especially the ladies. So we will talk about the next one is if we just go for these type of statistical data. So we always boost about Kerala and Mizoram and Sikkim, some of the northeastern states, some of the southern states. But our country is not confined. Our country cannot boost only for Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh or Telangana or the northeastern states. We are having 28 states and I think that 8 union territories. We cannot go for just showing the prosperity or progress just by showing Delhi, Calcutta, or Chennai or Mumbai. There are n number of cities, n number of villages are there, n number of persons are there who are struggling for their day to day life, especially the women. Now, political representation and decision making. I was talking about that how many persons are there at the top hem. You can say how many persons, how many females have become prime minister or president, how many persons have gone to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. What are the female participation percentages? So if in politics, if we just say, so 11.4%, I know that this data may vary, or someone will say no sir, it is not 11.4%, it is around 13 or 14%. So I think that it will be more you can say astonishing, or we can just go for laughing on such type of statistical fact that in the parliament we are having only 13 or 11.4%. What is in front of us, that is their participation. So the percentage of women in the Lok Sabha, India's lower house, the parliament, is still at 11.4% in 2022 recent elections. Women in state assemblies 10.6%. Efforts are underway to increase women's participation through reserved seats in local government, aiming to each 20% representation. We are thinking that one day will come and we will be having 20% of our representation in the Lok Sabha, or you can say state assemblies. I think that this data give us little satisfaction that we will reach one day that from 11.4% to 20% we will reach one day. But I think that is still a lot we have to do. We cannot go for just reservation type of thing, that we are giving reservation to female folk and after that they are going and winning that election, and after that they are reaching there. Now, the government's initiatives for women empowerment, legislative reforms and policies. The Indian government has enacted numerous laws and policies to promote gender equality and women's rights. See, now the just a couple of minutes ago, I was talking about the beautiful nation that is India, and we are talking about the Indian government has enacted numerous laws. So definitely something has happened in due course of time. sorry, that we always boast about our glorious ancient past, that we were having so many learned ladies. We are talking about our iron lady, that is late Mrs. Indira Gandhi. But how many Mrs. Indira Gandhi we have produced? Why we are talking about that we will go for gender equality? We always boost that we are living in a civilized society, but still government has to, if government has to enact and implement further implement some of the policies in order to give the equality for so-called gender equality, women's rights. So flagship programs and schemes, several government programs provide financial assistance, skill development, and educational opportunities for women. I think this is a very great step being done, and it is in the process by our honorable government machinery. Our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, sir, he has initiated many policies, but we have to understand that if there is initiation of policy, or you can say formulation of some policy, and our honorable government machinery want to implement it, so definitely we have to ensure that there should be community participation, there should be some family participation, there should be some participation from those members also who want that such type of things should happen. Empowerment through education and economic opportunities, we have just discussed it. That if I'm talking about education, if I'm talking about economic opportunities, so definitely we have to change our little, you can say, some of the orthodox thoughts we have to change actually. If you just, as a sociologist, or if you just talk to many family members, if you talk to, you can say, go to and ask any family, and just ask any, you can say, male members. So what do just ask a question that what do you think about women's liberty, women's empowerment? So n number of answers will come, and you will just laugh that why this person is having such type of perception, why this person is having such type of thought, why this person is replying in such a way. Legislative reforms and policies, Hindu Succession Act, that is 1956, protection of domestic violence, that is in 2005, and sexual harassment of women at workplace, prevention, prohibition and redressal, 2013, and maternal benefit act, 2017. So these type of policies, these type of things we have formulated and further implemented. Now just a question arises in, I think, in everyone's brain, that we are talking about domestic violence. So what does it really mean? It is simply beating by the male member to some female member, or it is something traumatic situation. It is, I think that it is traumatic situation. It is not only physical harassment, it is mental harassment also. Sexual harassment of women at workplace. Such type of things look little bit awkward, and many people feel shy also, that how they will go and discuss such type of things in the offices. But believe me that more or less in many offices, I'm not emphasizing on everyone's office, but in many offices such type of things happen, and such many cases get unnoticed just because of one thing, that the victim, I'm using the word victim, she is not able to get proper support. She always feels shy. She's always having some of the problems. She's having always some of the thoughts that if she will go and get and just raise her voice, so definitely the very next day she can lose her job. Or if she's not losing her job, if she is going in some court, you can say, so n number of traumatic questions will be given in front of, will be raised, and a question mark will be there for her own character. There will be assassination of character. So these type of things are one way, and the second way is that there is no support from the family members. Even her husband, even her father will say, please don't go to office, leave your work. But leaving the work, not going to office, is it going to solve the issue? I think that is no, that is not going to solve the issue. Please support your women. I think that this is the crucial time in which you can support her women, in which you can say, yes, we are with you. Go to court, go to police station, and believe me that if you will be give, if you will just give this your support, the person, the anti-social element, I'm using the word anti-social element, that person will be behind the bars, and so called, I'm using the word victim, she will get the justice. And that is not the justice for a single woman, that is the justice for the whole society. It is not like that that we are having only one cases such as Nirbhaya rape case or something like that, and n number of persons started coming with their candle march. Why there is candle march after such type of thing? Is it only Nirbhaya's case or n number of cases? If you will go for statistical data, if you will go for a statistical fact, you will, that is a very alarming situation, that the molestation, rape and some many type of things are happening in our day to day life. And the basic problem is we are not giving support to our women fraternity. That is the main issue. We have to understand it. Flagship programs and schemes, that is entrepreneurship, healthcare and education. Healthcare programs focus on the improving maternal health and providing healthcare access. I think that this is a very good initiative by our government machinery, that the pregnant woman will get the maternity leave. And even in some of the government works, government jobs, even the male members are also getting the paternity leave also, in order to support her women, support his women, support his wife. So I think that this is a very welcome step. Challenges and obstacles, always, if there is any topic, if there is any discussion, so definitely there will be a number of challenges and obstacles also there. So deeply ingrained societal norms often limit women's opportunities and choices. Traditional gender roles and expectations can restrict women's participation, education, employment, and public life. And economic disparities and lack of access of resources. Actually, there is not lack of access to resources. We are just putting obstacles in someone's way, that you are not supposed to go there. You are not supposed to be in line. You are not supposed to go in the open street and struggle for yourself. There will be n number of problems. There will be n number of persons who will just stare at you, who will just pass n number of nonsense comments on you. So I think that these are some of the stereotypes that these are very, you can say, traditional thoughts. I know that there are many problems once you are going on a street, so definitely you will face many problems, but that is not the problem that you have. That is, you can say, you will start your struggle. And believe me that if a lady will start her raise her voice, so definitely there will be many persons who will support her. And this is the, I think that many things have started also. Now, the cultural norms and stereotypes, that is, traditional gender roles, patriarchal structures, stereotypical expectations, and social conditioning. So, I think that traditional gender roles and stereotypical expectations we have covered. Patriarchal structures, we have to understand that what is patriarchy. Actually, we just think that patriarchy is such type of family structure in which the eldest male member, whether it is father, whether it is eldest son, or you can say uncle, any male member who can take the decision, who is in the dominant position, and everyone will say yes sir in the family. I think that in the northern part of, I think that in if I'm just leaving few states, so most of the things are being discussed and decided by the male members only. We have to go for a little bit change. I think little bit change is required. Once I'm talking about patriarchy, so we cannot destruct it completely, but definitely we have to change little bit. And this is the time when we can start thinking in such type of things, so that the discrimination against women can be stopped. Social conditioning, the I think that this is the biggest solution, that we are talking about social conditioning. Since the early childhood, we have to say, actually we used to say that the male children, you are not supposed to cry. Why he is not supposed to cry? He is also emotional person, and I think that everyone should feel a love, affection, and you can say, if there is any problem, so definitely he will start crying. There is not like that, that only women are supposed to cry and male are not supposed to. Women, male should just face all the things like that. Believe me, such type of teaching in the family itself gives such thing, that the male children, when they just become adolescents, or you can say young adults, they just, it is a simple feeling of dominance comes in their mind, that they are male, they can do anything. Okay, so such type of things, I think that we have to stop. I think we are having some less time. So economic disparities and lack of access to resources we have discussed. violence against women and safety concerns, domestic violence, sexual harassment, and acid attacks. These are please mute yourself. Now we will talk about violence against women and safety concern. Domestic violence, I think that we have covered it. Sexual harassment. Women in public spaces and workplaces continue to face sexual harassment, undermining their safety and freedom of movement. I think that this is the biggest and the biggest problem which I think that every woman has to face whenever she just comes out of her home, and such type of things gives a feeling both in the male and the female members of their family that such type of things, if it will continue, so I think that women should not go out of her home. Acid attacks. If possible, just go to there is a restaurant that is Shiro's, and please go and just watch there that all the members, all the workers there, they are female acid attack victims. And if you will just listen her their stories, so definitely you will just I think that if you are a human being, if you are having a little bit empathy for someone, believe me that you will cry there. That's such a beautiful face, such women who were having a beautiful face, a beautiful personality, and right now they are struggling for their life. Someone has lost their eyes, someone has lost their many things, you can say. Looking ahead, future directions and recommendations. We are on the final stage, that education and skill development, economic opportunities and financial inclusion, addressing gender based violence. So I believe, it is my personal perception, that if we will not go for the bookish language, I'm using the word bookish language, that go for education, enhance your awareness, etc., etc., be powerful. But I think that we have to go for socialization, good socialization from our families. And if we will start something in order to in order to upgrade the condition of our female members from our family itself, we have to tell them that what are their basic rights, what not basic right, what are their rights, what they can do, and if they are having any issue outside, so definitely she should come and tell their family members, and at that time all the family members should stand behind her. So I think that if I'm not talking about society, the basic things starts from our family, and family then society, society then nation, and the nation then world. And believe me that once we are talking about yatra naryastu pujyante tatra ramante devta, we are talking about such type of shloks that where women are praised and God used to reside there. I think that we have to make such society. I know that this is very hypothetical. Many person will say, sir, this is not possible, but this is possible. This is possible. What we have to do, we have to just come out of their so-called orthodox thoughts. We have to give, we have to think, we have to initiate. I think that with these words, thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you
Chavi,
so much.
yeah, thank you, sir. It was very nice presentation also. It was very nice talk, especially on the way you had encouraged women during this session, no, for everything, which is actually true. Because in some places, we do not, women are shy enough to come out and speak. Hello, sir. Am I audible,
Yes.
Chavi?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Yeah, and especially this Posh
Yes, ma'am,
Act
you're
and
audible.
all. Yes, it is. Posh Act has to be implemented in all the organization. Leave it, let it be small or big. Especially I feel it has to be implemented in factories because factories is the place where women are treated ill. So Posh Act has to be there.
Actually, it is not only factories, it is everywhere. Everywhere there are some issues. We have to initiate
Correct.
many things, many things. For that, I
Correct.
think
Correct.
that HR persons, they are doing their work, but
Ah,
still
yes,
a
sir.
lot
Yeah.
has to be done.
Yeah, lot more thing has to be done. Yes, correct. Yes, Chavi. Yes, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. On the behalf of organizing team, I would like to express my hearty word to thanks excellent speaker Dr. Chandrasekhar Singh. Today we got an opportunity to listen to an interesting and a thoughtful discussion about the women empowerment. The amount of expertise and the passion displayed by the Dr. Chandrasekhar Singh really enhanced our grasp of the women empowerment. Dr. Chandrasekhar Singh, sir, skillfully imparted his knowledge, leaving us with insightful conclusion and the motivational concept. His interesting presentation captured our attention and the motivation us to learn more. We appreciate the effort they put into preparing this enlightened session. Now once again I express my gratitude and thanks to the Dr. Chandrasekhar sir for sparing the time for us, for sparing his time for the hectic schedule to impart his information to us. We are speechless by your invaluable presence at this session. You provided in-depth analysis of the subject and shared some fantastic information. We should be aware of your time for the further such workshops in order to advance both our personal and the collective knowledge. Additionally, I want to thank in the attentive audience for their smart questions and the attentive involvement. This event is considerably more meaningful because of your participation.